Adidas, wonderful, iconic brand that has been developing now since really the 1930s. In one of my previous videos, I mentioned that really they started off in the Berlin Olympics from 1936 when Adidas himself made the shoes for Jesse Owens. And, you know, as I say, the rest is history because that was quite a success. My name's James Smith. I run channel JR74, and this video is all about a particular brand, the brand being Adidas. Basically giving you an idea about how well it does, how well it performs. I'm intent on doing a load of brand videos just so that you can have a look at the successes and failures that I've had with the brand and see if I've made a profit or a loss, and just to see if the brand is worth reselling or not. The idea behind this one is that on the 14th of September of last year, 2023, I dropped 11 Adidas products, and the products were ranging from t-shirts to sliders to hoodies. We'll go through all the products and I'll show you all the products that I put on. And really this is showing you how much I sourced them for, how much I sold them for, any profits or losses, and also the time that it took to sell them. Okay, today's date is, what is it? It's the 23rd of May 2024. So September to May, we're looking at about 8 months later. And, you know, if you're a reseller who's wondering about how well certain brands do, and you're just starting and you're asking yourself these questions, or if you've been going for a few years and you want to compare your sales against somebody else's, then this video is for you. Okay, so let's get into it. Right, okay, so what sold and how quickly did it sell? I'll start with 2 t-shirts, and they were cotton t-shirts. They weren't the Airtex t-shirts. What would you say? Adidas would have the Climacool range, Nike would have the Dry Fit range, the sort of like the running fibre that you would get. But these were sort of like I think you would call them athletic leisure. Okay, just t-shirts just to wear around the house, okay, or maybe go to bed in or something like that. But anyway, 2 nice t-shirts. One was a sky blue XL. Sizing on these is important. For blokes, the XL, the XXL sell well, okay. Largest sell, mediums, yeah, okay, but then when you get to the smaller sizes, small, extra small, they sell, but not as quickly. But these sold quick. This sky blue one, it just had the Adidas pyramid logo, cotton t-shirt, 3 stripes, white, and I got that for £3, okay, and took an offer of £9 on that. And after fees and postage and everything, I add the postage on top. So what I do is I put on the price plus postage. I don't include postage in the price. That gave me £7.28 back. Okay, so from that's over 100% on that, which is pleasing. And that took 3 days. 3 days. That's good. The next one was a navy blue XXL, another sort of like basic cotton tee. It was had the logo with the pyramid. You know what I mean by the pyramid, the like 3 stripes in like the pyramid shape. Adidas have 2 logos. They've got the pyramid one and they've got the trefoil classic one, which came about in 1972, by the way. Okay, before then it was just the 3 stripes, which they bought from some Norwegian company. It's very, very interesting. If you read the history of Adidas on Wikipedia, you can see how it began to grow. But anyway, not into that. This is all about the products. That's what you want to know about. So the navy blue basic, again, got it for £3. I took an offer this time of 10, gave me profit of £8.14. Okay, and that sold in 2 days. Result, nice. Okay, nice. Then there was a nice Olympic football shirt. Now, this is a bit more specialised. This would be, it's a hobby shirt, and I do focus a lot of clothing that I get on hobby, what I would call hobby clothing. Clothing for golf, clothing for gym, clothing for out walking. These sell well, and you'll see the point I'm making in a minute, because I'm going to show you what hasn't sold, and it's quite interesting. But anyway, this one was the Tokyo Olympic football shirt from the 2021 Olympics, because there was no Olympics in 2020 because of the pandemic. But this cost me £4 and I got 16 back for it, which gave me a profit of £13.61. Okay, sorry, £13.51. And this sold in 40 days. So a little bit longer, but still within 3 months, which is fine. You know, you can't have, if you're expecting everything to go out within a week, good God, you know, you'll be super eBayer, absolutely super eBayer. So yeah, that was that. Next one was a classic black tracksuit top, and it had the small trefoil logo on the breast. It had the 3 stripes, and it had a big trefoil on the back, black and white, so classic colours. Appeal to both men and women, but I think this one was sized as a woman's size. I think it, from memory, I think it was a size 8, but it had a very, very small hole in the arm. Now, if you ever list anything, normally I try and get every single product that I have not to have any holes, rips, tears in it, but this hole was really, really small, and so I took a photo of it and put a 5p piece next to the hole so that the buyer could actually gauge just how big the hole was, because there's nothing worse than the buyer getting the product, oh, that's not, oh, it's got a hole in it. You don't want that. Okay, so if you are going to put something on that's slightly damaged, you've got to tell them what the damage is. Also, I would say for any item of clothing, you've got to put the pit to pit measurement, okay, and the top. I go from the bottom of the collar so that it would be the same for like a collared shirt and a t-shirt. You would be able to do the same measurement, bottom of the collar down to the bottom of the garment. So pit to pit, then top to bottom. And I make it out in my description that, look, you can get a t-shirt that fits you, lay it out flat, and then measure it according to the measurements that I've given. I've got a very, very low return rate from clothing that I sell. There are some that are sold back because not everybody reads the description. They'll just go on like the sizing. But it is really, really important that you do that when selling clothing. So this black top, £3, okay, and I took an offer of 8 on it, which gave me a profit of £6.30. Pleased with that, considering that it was slightly damaged, but it hasn't come back. I let the buyer know about it, clear photos, easy. Okay, that's what you've got to do, because people might want it for like doing some work around the house, or they might want it to wear to run club, or they might be doing a run where they want to keep warm but then just chuck the top away, or you know, there might be a risk of them losing it. And so, you know, there's always a purpose for a piece of clothing. So yeah, that was fine. Then we come to an interesting one. It was a red hoodie. Had the big Adidas across the front. It was in your face. It took up the whole. It was a trefoil logo with Adidas underneath, red hoodie. Yeah, I got that for £6, and it just didn't work. It didn't work. Eventually, after 138 days, somebody offered me £6. So that was gone. It's probably a decorating top or something like that. I don't know, but it didn't work. I think sometimes with things like that, it's too in your face. It's too big. Many people prefer like the little subtle logos. And so, yeah, that one didn't work. And I made a loss of that on £1.29, okay? After 138 days, I just got a significant proportion of what I spent on this top back. Okay, so yeah, not particularly good. I won't be getting another one of those. Well, the only way that I would is if I come across one at a car boot for £1 or £2, and even then you'll only make a couple of quid in it, and you've got to keep it in your store for 138 days. Not really a sort of product that I want to be putting in my storage. Okay, so you live and learn, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to tell you stuff that you need to know when selling stuff like this. Then, even though I've said that I like to sell stuff medium and above, okay, I still put stuff on for like the kids, the youths, the up and comings, because I think that's important as well. Because, you know, if a kid's into a sport, God, decking them out sometimes can cost an absolute fortune, and they want to look good. They want to, okay? So, you know, I find that certainly golf stuff sells and sells quite quickly. Anyway, I had a 14-year-old, not 14-year-old as in it's from the year 2010, a 14-year-old, okay, and I got it for £4, and took an offer of 10, and I got £8.14 back on that. So that's over 100%. That took 5 days. Okay, brilliant. All right, that's the sort of profit that you want. That's really, really good. Then there was a large golf polo, and this was a prime green one. Now, Adidas Prime Green is like their environmental brand, and usually does quite well. So, made from recycled fibres. This one, again, £4, okay, and I took an offer of 11, and that sold in a day. It sold the day that it was put on, so I took £8.82 on that back. So considering I got it for £4, that's over 100%. Brilliant. You know, you can't really mess with that. That's absolutely superb. Golf stuff sells, and I'm a golfer myself, and I know why it sells. Because if you're in a golf shop and you're looking around and you're seeing, and the golfers want to look good, and you're seeing like the nice brands like your Nikes, your Adidas, your Under Armours, and then you've got the OP, and you've got the JLs, you know, Lindbergh, the slightly more developed brands. They could be like 40, 50, 60 quid for a pair of kicks and for a polo shirt. And you're just thinking to yourself, hold on a minute. You know, that's a bit too much. So if you can find a golf shirt that's in good nick, and, you know, if you put it on, usually it will sell. And it will sell pretty well as well, pretty quickly. You know, so large golf polo, as I said, got it for 4, sold it for 11, profit of £8.82. Am I repeating myself? I think I am. I think I've already told you that. Anyway, let's move on. Now, the next one. I was just walking out of a charity shop, and I looked across, and I saw this pair of sliders in the window, and they just looked a bit different, but I did catch the Adidas logo. I thought, oh, because Adidas sliders sell, and if you can pick them up for a decent price, they will sell if they're in good nick. And I picked them up. There were no rips in it, there were no tears in it, and they were the premium one because they were slightly softer. You could feel the strap across the top of the slider wasn't your usual rubber, it was the soft stuff, and it felt nice. And on it was written, "Welcome to Jabba's Palace." So it was an Adidas Star Wars. And so you're thinking, oh, there's a bit of uniqueness in this. Okay, this is nice. It was a size 12, so too big for me. Otherwise, I would have had them. I'm a size 8. But they were a tenner. But I thought to myself, it was a local charity shop. So I'm thinking to myself, if I go home and do the research, and it turns out that it's not going to work, I can always bring them back, okay, on my way to work. You know, it's no problem to do that. So it's not as though I got to travel miles to do it. So I was prepared to take a punt on it, okay. I could have checked in store, like the eBay pricings, but I prefer to do a little bit more research than just doing that, okay. I suppose in a way it's a challenge to myself. Is that I'm challenging myself. What is going to sell? I'm not going around the charity shops with a mobile phone checking each and everything. I don't do that. I just want to have a bit of fun. Yeah, see if it actually works. And when you actually get them home and check the pricing on it and it's worked, you do think, oh, yeah. And I'm getting much, much better at it. Very rarely do I take stuff back now. Very rarely. Anyway, I got these for a tenner, and I took an offer of 25 on these. I think for every single one, I think I put them on for 28 and I took an offer of 25. Every single thing that I have sold, it has been for an offer that was made. All in all, for every single product, I paid £50, 50 pence. Okay, for everything that I'm talking about. I'll put it down in the corner down there so that you can see how much I've spent and how much profit I'm making on it. But yeah, these were good. 24 days to sell, so just under a month, but fine, absolutely fine. And then the retro white trainers. Now, I couldn't Google match these. They were just, they weren't fake. I could tell that because they were well stitched, well made, and they look nice. They look good. They were just a normal pair of summer white trainers that look pretty good, pretty good. So I dated them at round about 2000, 2001, 2002. But as I say, I paid £3 for them. I put them on. I just put it down as Adidas white trainers because it wasn't coming up with any sort of like name for them, like Nizzers or anything like that. So I just put it on like that, and I got 15 quid offered. Took that, £12.97 profit, 8 days. 8 days. So I was pleased with that. Really pleased with that. Now, out of the 11 that I put on, 9 sold, 82%. I spent £50 and 50 pence, and so far, because there's still 2 that haven't sold, so far I've got back £85 and 85 pence. So that gives me a profit of £35, 35 pence, which is £3.92 per item. Okay, so nearly £4 profit on each item. You're not on the generic stuff like this, you're not going to get much higher than that. You might get close to 5 if you hold out for a little bit longer. But from my experience, people aren't really going to pay. There is sort of like a definite set price to what people will pay for what sort of product. Like the 2 generic polos at the start that I put on, people aren't going to go above £10. Okay, they might go to 12, but you would have to wait for that. Somebody could do in the end, but I think you'd be waiting for a little bit of time. So, you know, I'm pleased with that. And my answer to, is Adidas worth reselling? Yes, it is. You don't get huge profits on, but it is certainly something that can keep, it's a brand that can keep the algorithm ticking. Okay, it can keep it going. And the reason why I say that is because the average sale for an Adidas in terms of days is 26 days. And remember, I had that stinker, the red top, at 138 days to sell. But I did drop everything on the 14th of September, and there's still 2 things that haven't sold. The first one is this. And it's a small, again, it's not large, it's not extra large, but it's a small top. It looks a little bit Y2K, it looks a little bit 2000s, okay, and it's got like Adidas woven through it, and it's like a lime green. It's a small size. I would see, it's a bit of a fashion top, all right. Just wearing it out, it's like a yellowy colour. It's not a fitness top, it's not a hobby top, it's more of a fashion top, and these take a long time to sell. So, you know, I haven't got my fingers burnt, because this would have cost, it's only cost about £3-4 to be put on. So I think what I'm going to do now, considering that I've made, on those 11 products, I've made profit, I might just put this on at 99p on an auction and see if it shifts and just get some of the money back. Okay, you are not going to win on every single thing that you sell. It's just not going to happen. You have to take some losses. Okay, my loss percentage at the moment is at about 2 to 3%. 97% of stuff I make profit on, 2 to 3% I'll make a loss on. The other one is I got this, and again, I think I must have been in a rush because it's a Rebel Soles, Adidas Rebel Soles. Okay, and it's a vest top, but I didn't realise it's a cut off. Somebody's cut the sleeves off. I thought it was a vest. Nah, someone's cut the sleeves off. So I've put it on as that, as like a cut off. It's nice, you know. Rebel Soles is like a niche sort of like collection that Adidas put together, and that you can see there. It says Rebel Soles. You've got there. And I was thinking maybe, you know, somebody could wear this as like a fashion top. You've got their Step Up or Step Out Adidas there. I mean, it's May. Maybe somebody will pick it up for the summer. But I think I'm going to have to do the same with that. Put it on at 99p and see if anybody takes it. So that's only 2 items that I've got to do that on. So it's not that bad. And as I say, I've made the profit that I've told you about, £3.92 per item. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. So yeah, Adidas, a good bread and butter seller that keeps your algorithm ticking through. Nice. So, as I said at the start of the video, my name's James Smith and I run channel JR74, at the moment predominantly a reselling channel. I'm going to do more videos like this in terms of speaking about brands and how well they're performing. So please like, comment, subscribe to your heart's content. It will be great because it will keep me going, okay? Yeah, I'm thinking of maybe I'll do a Nike one. I'll compare Nike to Adidas. Other brands that are good sellers, Under Armour is a really good seller. Reese, R-E-I-S-S, in terms of just general clothing. You can pick those up quite well in charity shops and they do sell quick. Okay, they do. And also, I would say, things made out of wool, especially Marks and Spencer's merino wool jumpers. There's quite a few of them in charity shops, and they usually sell quite quickly. So I'll do a video on that as well, just to show you just how quick they do sell. So there is more to come. I've got many more videos in the pipeline that I could do. So please like, comment, subscribe. That would be great. Right, this is Smithy out. Hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.